Well, we return today after a few of the most classic weeks of FM you will ever experience. Our poor run continued as we were dragged towards relegation trouble in the Premier League until last time out, where we suddenly decided to win at Old Trafford. Today, though, after the international break, we've got two big games at the bottom end of the table against sides that on paper you might consider winnable. We've got to try and find a way to pick up results despite being depleted in certain areas of the side. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 28 of this FM06 Let's Retro Save from Luton Town. We are back today with Big Peter Crouch keeping us afloat, his fifth goal of the season, enough to lead us to victory at Old Trafford after a rotten run of form. And we're also throwing the cup where, guess what? We're going to Old Trafford. That's going to be pretty tricky next tie as well. We've got a lot to look through today and we've got to try and pick up results. But it's not going to be easy. Our home record generally has been pretty good defensively, bar that bizarre Palace game, but we've not been able to keep defenders fit or here because international duty is seemingly sporadic for some of these players in the squads. So if you're looking forward to that as we host Fulham and then visit a struggling Bolton side, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. But before we go and get into that, we've got to have a look at what have been some bizarre fixtures since you were last here, because you were with me as we lost to Derby and to Palace. We had countless chances to win the Derby game, but then our bogey side got us. And we knew the run after the League Cup tie was going to be tough. We did win that cup match by 3-1. Baraji, Morgan and Howard all into the team and all scoring. Even Warren Feeney and Johan Giroud got a run out in that one. We then lost 2-1 at Arsenal, despite Theo Walcott scoring, wasn't quite enough to get us the result. And again, Thierry Henry turned it round late on. It was a solid, spirited effort. We didn't do much to get the result. A 1-0 defeat followed at home to Liverpool, in which we were battered and the scoreline very much flattered us. But then this came along. In midweek, we just suddenly won at Old Trafford. Big Pete popped up with 2 goals. And it was a late winner to send the fans into raptures. It was a brilliant effort. Moritz Volt's now the new right back at United. There's some bizarre things going on. But with the team we put out, it's an incredible effort. And to be honest, it was a necessary result because we were drifting. We were in 16th, 17th place. We were looking over our shoulder. And that game has just put us 4 clear of the relegation zone. And you can see Bolton are that side who will be facing second today. Unfortunately for us, Fulham have had a flying start. They've conceded the least goals in the league by far, 1 every 2 games. But they're scoring less than 1 a game as well. So maybe we'll be able to sneak a 0-0. I don't know. We're going to go and get into the fixture, but first and foremost, I've got to show you some big news off the pitch, because if we go through to the information, we have received yet another stadium expansion. So it was 15 odd and it's been reduced a bit for this expansion, but we should have over a 20,000 seater once that's done. And that gives us a very big opportunity because financially, we'll actually be covering our wage bill and we'll be able to start investing a little bit more, which would be nice. It's a bit hard making a loss every month at the minute. So let's go and get through to the first of today's 2 games where injuries have become a bit of an issue. You can see we are without Anton Ferdinand, who's got a knock. Also missing is Curtis Davis, who is still away on international duty with Sierra Leone. So as a result of that, our back 3 today is going to be Basagno, flanked by Andy O'Brien and Marcus Heikkinen for a big game in the Premier League. I'm probably going to put Chris Coyne on the bench as well, who is in the reserves at the moment. But it's not really what we wanted to be going for in a game of this magnitude. Could have done with it being a slightly stronger squad. We're also without Theo Walcott, who's picked up an injury too. So I'm going to give Valentin Robert, I think, his first league start. Or do I go for Sean Maloney, who's playing well and scoring goals? I think I might do that. Robert will have to stick with the bench. I'm tempted to go for Coyne ahead of Heikkinen, because he is a little bit happier at the minute. So we're going to go Coyne and O'Brien at the back instead. The rest of the team I think will stay the same. The bench, we've got decisions to make. Robert is fine as a striker. I think maybe Baraji comes in just to give us an option out wide, a bit of pace, maybe even a chance to change shape. Richard Hughes would go on there, but Keane, Heikkinen and Nichols, they can all play the holding role if need be. So this is the squad we've got for today. It's Kasper Schmeichel in goal. A back 3 of O'Brien, Basagno and Coyne. God help us at this point. Foley and Zonneveld the wing-backs, with De Cassie and Flamini the holding midfielders. Then Leon Osman back in fitness and in form behind Maloney and Crouch up front. Missing that little bit of explosive pace that perhaps Theo Walcott offers. With Valentin Ribeiro on the bench, there is an option there if we need it. As this is the team we're coming up against today. Pedro Mendes is the man, ironically, that's replaced Flamini in the Fulham team, a player we tried to sign before. They've got Liam Rosenior, Anthony Gardner, Ricardo, mentioned in the comments last season, and then Boa Morte and Malbronk out wide. And keep your eyes on Kurzakov, who they've signed up front, a proper player in FM06. Let's go and get through to the first half. I mean, I'd take a draw right now, given the fact that we're down to Chris Coyne at the back, who's a great championship leader. He's not a Premier League player. Basagno gets it clear, and Foley will try and chase the loose ball. He's fouled his man, and unfortunately, we're going to be doing defending again. Pedro Mendes, we know, has got good delivery in this situation, and we're outnumbered in the box, so O'Brien gets there first, loses the second ball though. Foley back in, wins a very good challenge. We survived the first bit of danger, but 10% of the game gone, and we're under big pressure already. There's a quarter of an hour on the clock, and we're back defending again as Malbronk and Rosenior combine on the right. And it's cleared away as far as Liam Rosenior again. Peter Crouch forces him back to the keeper, which is good work. And he is a bit of a one-man team when it comes to a goal-scoring threat now. And Maloney will try and add to that today. Here is Peter Crouch on halfway, holding up for Coyne. Zonneveld trying to get forward, but he's been pressed back a lot in recent matches. Gets it in towards Crouch again, but doesn't quite reach its target. As Coyne goes for the big switch to De Cassi, who we're yet to see the best of. But he gives that to Leon Osman, who's got time. And that shot is wayward. It went out in line with the edge of the box. That's not what we want from a star attacking midfielder. As Lewis Barmorte puts the corner in, Coyne loses the header. And we're lucky that's gone over the bar. Probably should have been scored by Birmingham. We survive it as Foley's got a throw on the right this time. Up towards Maloney. Why are we suddenly taking long throws when I've changed the instruction to short? We didn't see enough of them last season. There's a long ball forward towards Basagno. Down for Flamini. Maloney's got a man to take on, but instead plays back to Foley. Not a lot of confidence, and that's terrible. Foley's just waited for Barmorte to nick it. Then he's got a poor touch on that, but Basagno does brilliantly. Clears it to Crouch, who loses out in the air. It's a bit of a scrappy game, but Fulham look to have the better quality. And we're under pressure yet again as it's down the left wing to Birmingham. He's got Kurzakov in the middle, and we've dragged our wingers out wide. Our centre-halves out wide, as Maloney brings it down. Chance to counter with Crouch. Francis beats him to it again. We just don't look like we've got any threat. We don't look like we can keep the ball. We've survived 35 minutes, but it's not been a good performance. And at the back at the moment, it's Basagno saving us. As here's Pedro Mendes again, the danger man. Out to the left-hand side, Fulham working forward with Boa Morte. Foley's won it this time, and O'Brien clears. Maloney chases, but we're missing that Walcott pace as it's long towards Kurzakov. Basagno with the header. Again, though, we're inviting pressure. It's coming straight back at us. Mendes has dragged Foley in, and he wins it again. Does really well. De Cassi's lost it straight away, though. We cannot keep the ball. Birmingham's shot is one of the worst I've ever seen. But defensively, while we're fighting, we're doing okay. We really don't look like we can keep the ball. Who's picked up the injury there? I think it might have been Crouch. And at the moment, Chris Coyne's the best player on the pitch, apparently. And to show encouragement, I don't think I'm going to give Foley much longer the way it's going now. And I don't know what I'll do with the Crouch position because he's not getting any service. As Zonneveld goes for the switch of play to Foley again. Oh, he nearly lost it. I'm going to have to take him off. Crouch is up, flicks on for Osman. Can he find the pass? Foley's going forward. Probably do something magic now as Flamini's released Osman. It's a poor touch, but he wins it back. And Leon Osman curls it into the corner. First time whip, gets away with losing the ball the first time. And the second finish is absolutely delightful. My God, we don't deserve that. It's been a terrible game. It's our first shot on target and the first shot on target of the match, in fact. But Leon Osman has produced a bit of quality. And it's now Luton Town 1, Fulham 0. And that is against the run of play. As we've got a throw at left back with Zonneveld. Up towards Peter Crouch, who holds up well. Plays it back to the left wing back. And he releases Maloney. Down the left-hand side, Rosenior fouls him. Does really well to win that. Graham Poll, make sure you only give 2 yellow cards before a red today, please. Can we make the free kick count? A dangerous position for sure. But is the delivery going to be right? Rosenior's trudging over quite slowly there, isn't he? He's only warned he doesn't even get a booking. I guess that's one way to avoid not counting your cards correctly. As into the box, Chris Coyne will put it. Peter Crouch is up. I mean, there's no way Chris Coyne is a free kick taker on my list. That is a little bit odd. But 55 gone, we're 1 up. And in an ugly performance, If we could get some form of result in this game, I'd be a happy man, especially given Fulham's start. The Cassie clears downfield. We know they don't score many, so hopefully we can at least guarantee a point here. Because we're going straight from the throw-in again with Stevenson. We're seeing a lot of sort of bitty highlights here. They don't seem to be key things, as Collins John is on and causing a bit of trouble on the left-hand side. Chance to cross, Kurzakov's in there, but Sagno does really well. Clears downfield for Stevenson. Yankov gets it back wide again, and Boamorte continues to give Foley a torrid time. Basagno, though, is big in the box yet again. He's been magnificent so far. But can he keep it going? Because Pedro Mendes is getting the next wave of pressure in. Basagno loses out to Kurzakov this time. But it's over the bar. It's still 1-0. But I am not confident with the way we're playing because we're facing a defensive highlight literally every minute. Kurzakov again has gone for a shot. We're under big pressure. Like really big pressure here. What do I do defensively? I feel like we're going to have to change something. As Flamini heads it away as far as Foley. Leon Osman can look for the long ball downfield. But I don't think Peter Crouch is winning that foot race. Does do well to force Gardner back to the keeper though. Ricardo goes for the big punt downfield, which Foley loses in the air to Boamorte. And he's now been released down the left wing. Andy O'Brien's had to commit. It's not gone well. And Coyne loses out to Kurzakov in the box. And that's a championship defender against a world-class striker. Welcome to the club, unfortunately. Foley's going to have to come off because he's causing us too much trouble. And I think Peter Crouch might have to as well. So we're going to go for Valentin Robert up front. Foley off for Keith Keane. I mean, O'Brien's been pretty awful as well. But what I'm going to do is wait 5 more. Because I think Leon Osman will need to come off. And then we've just got to work out who on earth we put attacking midfield. Maybe someone like Zonneveld or Baraji can do it. As we've got a corner. Could we nick another one? Chris Coyne's up. Oh, he nearly gets that in. Sneaks it towards the near post. It's just wide and high. 20 minutes to go. 1-1 is the score. Who do we get off for Leon Osman? We'll find out in a minute. As Keane's throwing. He's just thrown it to Boamorte. He's not even attempted to find a Luton shirt there. DeCassi wins it back for Osman. And now Maloney. Back to Andy O'Brien. Not the most ambitious play. He chips it into DeCassi. And now Keane again. Good cross for Maloney. He's 1-on-1. Sean Maloney. Good finish. You're about to change from that position, I think. But what a goal that is. Super ball from Keith Keane. And that's why we took Foley off. We got it right. Kurzakov gave the ball away. And now we've got to make the decision with Leon Osman. Do I go back to last year's tactic? Maybe play with the sort of 1 holding mid and 2 centre midfielders. I think that might be the best option. So Kevin Nichols could be the man to come on. And he's going to replace Leon Osman. So we'll go for... Just got to work out what the best positions are here. So DeCassi can only play holding midfield. So he's going to stay there. Flamini will go in alongside Nichols in centre mid. And Nichols will no longer do the run with the ball and the through balls. He'll just be a balanced centre midfielder. I think that's how we're going to leave it. So it's basically as you were last season. But this time we've got to try and hold on. We've got a 2-1 lead against Fulham. And a side who have conceded and scored the least this year are suddenly producing loads of both. 2-1 to Luton with 15 to go. I'm still nowhere near confident we hang on here. We're just over 10 minutes remaining and we're back with Steve Malbronk on the right-hand side who puts a long ball forward and O'Brien does well with it. Now we can break. And the benefit with Crouch and Howard not being on the pitch as Malbronk commits a cynical foul and should get booked is that both Robert and Maloney have bundles of pace. So the one thing we have got on the counter now is 2 players who can go at it. Yes, we've lost that third man that we were committing to the attack. But the counters are still going to be strong, as we've seen with Zonneveld on the left. Gets it from Coyne, plays to DeCassi. Basagno finds Coyne again. That is an absolutely terrible ball. Chris Coyne is not a Premier League player here, as Maloney holds it up, finds Flamini. Support on the right from Keith Keane, instead turns into Nichols. He's got space, Kevin Nichols. Oh, good save, Ricardo. Almost curled it in. And Collins John will break away. That could have been game over. Instead, we're facing the counter-attack. Collins John down the left-hand side. Chance to get into the byline. Instead turns back to Stevenson. There's 2 in the middle in Yankov. How has he got so much space when we've got 3 centre mids in there? Thankfully, it doesn't matter. His shot is awful. And with 5 to go, we're back in possession with Basagno. Up towards Robert, who wins the flick on. But Maloney's not able to get to that. Ricardo can launch the counter. Fulham have gone 4-4-2. I think if we survive this highlight, which is a big if at the minute. Kurzakov's got 1 in the middle. Good deflection. Schmeichel holds. I'm going to push the wing-backs to full-back because that's where we're getting done. They've stuck Boamorte and Malbronk right up there. as Robert goes up again, loses out this time. De Cassie wins the second ball. Robert finds Zonneveld. Now we've got 6 on the break and Sean Maloney's in. This could see the game off. Sean Maloney. Oh, it's a good save. Tipped over the bar. It was a decent effort, but just got dragged a little wide on his left. And we're still not able to make the subs here as Zonneveld delivers the corner. Coin goes up, flicks on for Maloney. And how has Flamini missed the rebound? On the half volley, it's over from no more than 3 yards. That is a rotten finish because it should have seen out the game. Keith Keane, I'm afraid you and Zonneveld are going to have to go backs to the wall here. We are 2-1 up and I intend to hold on to it. We're going to time waste all of the time. We'll drop the defensive line a bit because, let's be honest, with Coyne and O'Brien in net, we're slower than normal. Normally Davis and Ferdinand would do the running backwards. With 3 minutes to go, we're in a good position here as O'Brien looks for the ball up to Robert. Flicks on, but there's nobody there. The long ball forward is intercepted by Basagno. Flamini's ball wide to Keane is ambitious, but he wins it. Does brilliantly to find Maloney. He turns back on himself. Keith Keane breaks away with it. Up to Robert, who's got time to turn. Finds Flamini with a brilliant ball. And the shot's over the bar, but it's a lovely counter-attack. Some great football from Luton, but with a minute of stoppage time to go, it's about clinging on as Robert knocks a free kick down. Collins John hammers it out for a throw. And that is exactly where we want it with just 30 seconds left. Brilliant, gutsy defensive display in what has been a pretty poor match. As Zonneveld throws into De Cassie. This could be a big old moment. Zonneveld has just controlled it out of play though. That's not what we wanted now. Chris Coyne with a big ball downfield to Nichols, who gives it away to Yankov. De Cassie's been beaten. It's one last chance, but Nichols is back in. Up towards Robert, who loses the flick on. But there is the final whistle. A big win at Kenilworth Road for Luton Town. Back on form at home on camera. Chris Coyne gets man of the match with Maloney. And we win by 2-1. The Fulham good start comes to an end. And we've moved up to 9th place. Exactly what we needed from today's episode. Can we go and back it up at Bolton now? We've been wretched on the road against everyone bar United. Let's see if we can change that next time out. We'll be back in a minute for kickoff. Well, we're back to face bottom of the table Bolton, but we all know what happened last time away from home against bottom of the league on camera. We had a treacherous time at Derby despite dominating the game. And today we've got new problems to worry about because if we have a look at our squad, I know it's maybe not a major blow in terms of first choice, but we are without Chris Coyne, who was the best defender on the pitch last time. We have, though, got Davis and Ferdinand back, among others, so we should have a slightly stronger squad. The decision today is who we play in the back three, and I think we're going to go full strength. Ferdinand in for O'Brien, Davis back in for Chris Coyne, and then I think we leave Andy O'Brien on the bench in place of Heikkinen, which is a pretty good position to be in, I'd say. The rest of the squad, I think, should stay the same, with the exception of Keith Keane coming in for Kevin Foley. He seems to be performing better at the minute, so we're going to get him in instead. And then the rest of it stays the same, I think. We probably keep Baraggi on the bench. Or do we go for a second midfielder now we've not got Keane? I think maybe we'll go Richard Hughes instead of Baraggi there. But otherwise, we're going to stick with it. We know we've got a cup game in midweek, so the likes of Baraggi, Howard, etc. will all get their start. But now, this is the 11 we're going for. 2 changes in the back three. Ferdinand and Davis return to the side. And then Keane is coming in on the right wing-back position because of the fact Kevin Foley's in poor form. Andy O'Brien drops to the bench as well. Still no Walcott due to injury. Let's go and get into it. Away at Bolton, they're bottom of the league, but they've been in Europe the last 2 seasons. This will not be an easy away day. Well, just to illustrate my point about this bottom of the league team, I know they've lost the likes of Stelios and Okocha and some of those experienced players, but they've brought in the likes of Matty Upson, Robin Van Persie on the left of midfield. They've also got Kevin Nolan still. They've got Glenn Johnson at right back, and we know Jaskalainen's a top keeper. This is a good Bolton team, and it's not going to be an easy away day, this. They've also got Andrei Arshavin on the bench. I mean, there's class everywhere here. So with 10 minutes gone, we've got a throw on the right. We could really do with a fast start as Maloney flicks on for Crouch. Down the right-hand side, holds up for De Cassie. Has support, switches it to Curtis Davis, and he's got Zonneveld down the line. Instead looks for Osman on the run, though. And Anderson is able to mop up. Leon Osman already on a yellow card, but we'll forgive him if he stays disciplined now. As Curtis Davis gives the ball away in his defensive third. Oh, he's given it away twice. That's atrocious. You lucky, lucky boy, Curtis. He'll be relieved his stupidity didn't cost a goal. It's exactly what I was thinking. I'm glad you said it. £5 million down the drain, we could have been saying. As Schmeichel goes long downfield, aiming for Maloney instead of Peter Crouch, which is a little bit odd. But Van Persie will break away down the left, and we could be in trouble here. There's 4 in the middle for Bolton. Look how many they've got forward. This time, Curtis Davis, the hero, as Crouch can't control it once cleared. Does get back and force the throw, though. Excellent defensive work. This, again, a little bit backs to the wall, isn't it? Half an hour gone. We're sitting back as Van Persie gives it to Araujo, and Bolton are piling the pressure on. Wallace down the line. You feel like the first goal's crucial in this game, and as Juve's there, right on cue. It's another defensive mix-up from Davis and Zonneveld. What is going on with them two? Zonneveld's the one who's been blamed. I don't know what it is away from home. Apart from at Old Trafford, we've looked absolutely woeful on the road this season. And at 1-0 down, we've not really had a sniff in this game. No, Zonneveld's nicked the ball back. Radhi Jaidi beat his Crouch to it. Crouch has been very poor in this first half. Pops up with big goals, but in the other games, he does really go missing. As Maloney, again, why are we aiming the long balls to Maloney? I don't quite get it. James Keane breaks away, the goal scorer. Chance on the left-hand side. Ferdinand intercepts. Wallace able to get there. Chance to cross. Keane forces him backwards. It's good defending. Can't stop the ball in, though. Keane's there again. Schmeichel makes the save. Van Persie out for a goal kick. We're surviving. 10 to the break. We've got to get in at half-time without any further damage. As Zonneveld throws in. Maloney will chase it, but again, Anderson's there first. We look second best to everything. And that big win against Fulham is coming at a cost by the looks of it. As Van Persie breaks down the left wing yet again. Good ball in. Keane beats Basagno. Where are you, Nick? James Keane's not even a massive striker to what I know. Let's have a look at him. 5'11", 11 jumping reach. Basagno, 6'14" jumping reach. Why are you losing that header? And what on earth am I going to do about our away form? Because it is literally chalk and cheese, apart from at Old Trafford. Let's tell the boys that we expect nothing less than a win. It's been a treacherous performance. It really has. But what on earth is causing such a big difference between home and away? I almost feel like I'm going to have to train a second tactic now. And maybe just try something completely different on the road. Maybe go back to the 4-4-2. And put Basagno in midfield. Maybe play 4-4-2 but with 2 holding midfielders. I don't know. As Keane gets the ball to Ferdinand. But then have we got 2 wingers we can put in? Crouch is on the end of the long ball. Wins the flick. There's 2 players up with him. But he goes for goal. Probably not the right decision there. And yet again, away to bottom of the league is our kryptonite. As Schmeichel clears long downfield. Osman will chase it. Again, can someone aim it at Crouch? I've got it to aim at the target man to his head. And you're ignoring the target man and hitting it to the 2 5'7"ers. As Maloney goes wide to Zonneveld. Can we get a goal back? There's a chance if we get one. Poor square pass, but Decassi wins it. Flamini gives it to the centre half. Davis up to Crouch. Flick again goes the wrong way. Johnson puts it out for a corner though. I mean, this is a good Bolton team. They won't finish bottom this year. But the same happened at Derby. The same has happened on the road so many times. We just don't look a threat as Decassi loses out at the edge of the box. Again, instructions completely ignored from the corner. As we approach the hour mark, I'm frustrated enough that we're probably going to make changes. It's going to be Leon Osman off. Maloney drops to number 10. Valentin Robert will come on up front. I'm also going to take off... Who? There's not really many options, are there? I'm just going to leave it for now. I think, no, maybe Ferdinand for O'Brien because... To be fair, Ferdinand had been injured. I want to make sure that we build his fitness up. But I don't think there's any value in bringing on Foley, Nichols or Hughes. I'll probably give Hughes a run out later. Just so he gets an appearance. But I'm not really of the mind at the minute to make many changes defensively. As Keane throws the ball into Decassi. Keane again has the chance. Good cross towards Zonneveld. Knocks it down. It's over the bar though. 20 minutes remaining. We'll look at the last sub now. It's going to be Flamini off for Richard Hughes. Does offer a little more going forward, if nothing else. I find it weird in the early games of the season. Flamini was having loads of long shots when he was on the right in Decassi's position. Decassi is an 18 rated long shot taker. And he doesn't have any, despite the instruction being the same. With 15 to go, though, we've got bigger problems to worry about for now. As Davis finds Decassi and up to Robert. Keane finds Davis again. Can we get ourselves on the score sheet and make it a grandstand finish? O'Brien switches to Keane. Not if we just keep passing it at the back. Robert's on the right-hand side. Cross towards Crouch, who's up and heads in. That's what we needed. Peter Crouch delivers again. Robert gets an assist. And now we're going to go a bit more aggressive because Bolton are sitting quite defensive for now. Let's try and camp them in a little bit. And hopefully we can get some form of response. We're going to get the team instructions. We're going to bring the time wasting right down to the other side. And then I'm not going to go mad, but we are going to go more attacking. And hopefully get a little bit of creative freedom there as well. Although I'm not sure our players will do too well with that. So let's go for that one, shall we? We have got 15 minutes to go. Bolton have just brought on one of the best young centre-halves you will ever see. That kid is 17. He's going to be a superstar. And we've got a free kick. If ever there's a time, I've moaned about Mike Zonneveld not living up to his 19 rating. If there's ever a time, now is it. 2-2. And unlike the Derby game, we have found a way to put chances away. His first goal for Luton, Mike Zonneveld, has produced the equaliser, atones for his earlier error, and now maybe we're going to pick up points on the road in back-to-back games, or are we? Because Basagno's got defending to do, and Lee Wallace will go forward. The problem is, Bolton will probably attack now. Oh my God, from the kick-off, before I even get to change the tactic back. How? Just please. We are so solid defensively at home, 9 times out of 10. On the road, we are conceding goals like they're going out of fashion. Jussi Askelainen's gone off injured. Thankfully for them, they had a sub. And we've managed to lose the game again. I've got to do something away from home. I have to do something because we're conceding 3s and 4s with regularity with exactly the same setup that is barely conceding a chance at home. Make it make sense, please. We're now just 4 clear of the relegation zone. We're back where we started. And what would have been a good point has just drifted away and crucially brought Bolton a lot closer. I mean, unfortunately, in these early FMs, it's not even like you can have 3 tactics set up at once. You literally have to flick between them. But I'm gonna have to do something against these bottom half sides away from home. We conceded 4 at Aston Villa, 2 at Derby, 2 at Arsenal, 3 at Bolton, 2 at Chelsea. Whereas at home is clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet, 2 against Palace, then 1 against Liverpool and Fulham. There is a huge difference and disparity on the road. And when we look at our next away games, Newcastle, then Hull City, which is a massive match, we're going to have to find a response. And because we're back in relegation trouble, it's tight at the bottom. We will come back for Hull and Sheffield United. It could well be facing bottom of the league again, which could be another bogey side. It seems to just be the kryptonite. But those two now become big matches. They're 2 sides that have come up. They're 2 sides that are expected to go back down. And if we don't pick up results against them, we could be looking over our shoulders very quickly. A chance to get 4 points dwindles at the end. And after fighting back from 2-0 down, our away woes defensively continue again. What is it that is causing the exact same tactic to be problematic away from home? If you want to stay up to date and find out how the rest of the season goes and see whether we can escape trouble with 2 games against promoted sides next time out, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We're back every weekday at 4:30. If you enjoyed this one, brilliance against Fulham, heartbreak against Bolton, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Come and join us on Twitch for regular live streams, link in the eye above, as well as to the football podcast too. And I'll see you tomorrow for 2 huge games. If we don't pick up points and don't find our away form, could leave us bang in relegation trouble.